and I'm here to talk to you about apple cider vinegar, as you can probably tell from the title. Yeah, so it's a video I've actually been wanting to do for a while because apple cider vinegar is such a staple in both my beauty and my healthcare regimen. So I wanted to come on camera and talk about it. Plus, a lot of my friends have had questions about it. And how do you do it? And what do you do? So, yeah, so this is obviously not going to be a comprehensive study of organic apple cider vinegar because I'm not a doctor, nor am I a nutritionist, but I am an avid reader and an avid researcher. It's sort of like my pastime is I like to research a lot of things, and one of those things that I do research is stuff for beauty and healthcare, obviously, which is why I have this channel. And one of the things that constantly comes up in all natural beauty or all natural healthcare, what is my dog doing? I don't know, is organic apple cider vinegar. This is unpasteurized, unfiltered, or organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. And so you see right here it says with the mother. The mother is like this pulpy stuff that comes, you can't see it now because I've been shaking it, but it actually shows up at the bottom. It looks like just like sort of like cloudy, dark colored pulp. And so before you use unfiltered organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, you have to shake it up so that that mother, I don't know why it's called mother, but it's so the pulpy stuff gets all in it, and because there's like some good nutritional value there. But anyway, scientists have actually studied apple cider vinegar, and they've found that there's over 90 like properties in it that is good for our health, like over 90 nutrients and minerals and things like that. So if you have an ailment, like let's talk about health ailments. If you have a health ailment, like let's say you have high cholesterol, or let's say you have diabetes, or you have high blood pressure, I guarantee you that apple cider vinegar is going to be one of the all-natural cures for that. Like if you Google apple cider vinegar, comma, high cholesterol, they're going to tell you to take apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, comma, acid reflux. Someone's going to tell you to take apple cider vinegar because it actually is just that good for you. Like there's like tons of like really great nutrients and tons of really great minerals. It's so good for our body. Well, there's just so many things to talk about. So let's start with some of the health benefits. So like I talked about, like if you have diabetes or high cholesterol, or if you have acid reflux, like acid reflux is actually something that I suffer from, or suffered from before I discovered apple cider vinegar. I was having like really bad, like I was having like shortness of breath, and I was having like all these like weird symptoms, like when I would lay down, I was having like shortness of breath, but I didn't have like heartburn or anything like that. So I'd like gone to doctors, like this was like months and months. Like I went to doctors, I went to like a lung doctor, I went to a heart doctor, they did x-rays on my chest, I had an echo done on my heart because they couldn't figure out why I was having shortness of breath. The doctor was like, well, your heart is like super healthy and your lungs are super healthy, maybe you have asthma. And so they were like giving me medicine for like asthma and all this other stuff. And then for a completely unrelated thing, I actually ended up going to the doctor because I was having like vocal cord problems. Like if you don't know, I'm also a singer. So I was having some vocal issues, like my voice wasn't doing so great, and it was taking me forever to warm up. And then when I was warm, like I was warm for like a few minutes, and then my voice would start like I had like no control over my voice. So I went to a laryngologist so they could look at my vocal cords, and he did the whole thing, stuck the camera up my nose, down my throat, and he looked at my vocal cords. He said, you have a little bit of reflux on your vocal cords. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, again, this was at the same time, but had no idea that these were related issues. And so he prescribed some medicine for me to start taking for the acid reflux. And just like that, my breathing, like within a week, like my breathing got better. So I stopped taking like the whatever asthma medicine that they were giving me. And then I ended up going back to the pulmonologist, the lung doctor, and I was like, yeah, pretty sure it was acid reflux, because when I started taking the medicine for acid reflux, my breathing got back to normal. He was like, oh yeah, sometimes some of the acid can get into your lungs, and so that can cut. And I was like, well, no one told me this. But again, I wasn't really having typical symptoms of acid reflux, like the burning sensation or anything like that, so I had no idea. So this is when I started looking into alternative medicine, because I was not going to take these little acid reflux pills for the rest of my life. That was just ridiculous. And one of the things that people prescribed, or suggested rather, I won't say prescribed, but suggested, was to try organic apple cider vinegar. So I started taking that before bed, because when I would lay down, that's when it would get worse. So I started taking it before bed, and lo and behold, my acid reflux is now under control. I don't even have symptoms of acid reflux. I haven't had symptoms for, I mean, probably for at least a year. And if ever I do, then I just take a little bit more apple cider vinegar. So that's one thing. So if you suffer from GERD, or you know, acid reflux, and people will say, oh, but isn't it acidic? Yes, it is acidic, but the pH, I don't know, like there's something in the pH that actually balances out our pH, or the alkaline actually balances out ours, so it actually works better in our stomach. It helps with digestion. It helps if you're overweight and you're trying to lose weight. Apple cider vinegar is going to be one of those things that's going to help you. It curbs the appetite a little bit, or it suppresses the appetite a little bit, and it helps to break down fat and break down sugars, which is why it's great for people who are diabetic, type 2 diabetic. Because it helps to lower, or it doesn't spike your insulin as much. If you have a problem with, you know, insulin spikes or blood sugar spikes, then this is going to help sort of even out the insulin in your system, so that it doesn't spike whenever you eat like really high carbohydrate or high sugary foods. When ingested, it also can help with allergies. Like if you suffer from allergies, I know my cousin takes apple cider vinegar because she has allergies, and it serves as sort of a detox. So it detoxes your system, detoxes your liver. It helps sort of cleanse your body. So whatever's going on in your body, I just say take organic apple cider vinegar, even if there's nothing wrong, because you never know like what's going wrong internally. If you have acne, you can take this internally as well. Also, you can put it on topically, but I'll talk about the beauty benefits in just a little bit. If you are getting sick, like you're getting sore throats, apple cider vinegar is great for that. If you suffer from sinus infections, chronic sinus infections, what is this hair doing? Sorry. Chronic sinus infections, then apple cider vinegar will help you with that. Randomly, it also helps you with like varicose veins. Like I actually read that, like it helps like reduce the varicose veins, prevent them from happening, and like reduce the appearance of varicose veins. Go figure. I mean, there are a ton. I feel like I don't want to list like everything, because I'm not an encyclopedia of what apple cider vinegar can do, but I'm telling you, if you suffer from some sort of chronic illness, a lot of the times, of course, like prescription medication, like do what the doctor tells you to do, but I always encourage people to like research, because I feel like, you know, God created the earth, and there are so many things that we don't know around, like that we can use in conjunction with Western medicine, that I feel like can really help us with our quality of life. And I think that organic apple cider vinegar is just one of those things. Of course, again, like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. You're gonna have to, you know, talk to your doctor about it, even before you start an apple cider vinegar regimen. I will say though that a lot of Western doctors, unless they're like do sort of like holistic type practices or nutritionists, they don't really know all of the sort of herbal remedies that you can use, again, in conjunction with, or even sometimes in replacement of Western medicine. Because I do know, or I've read rather, of some really interesting cases of people who have just used herbal supplements and apple cider vinegar and different types of tea, and have cured themselves from cancer, from, again, chronic illnesses like GERD, like diabetes, weight loss. If you're using this for weight loss, like you're not going to lose like 5 pounds in a week, okay? Like, but there was a study that said people who took 2 tablespoons of organic apple cider vinegar every day for a year lost an average of like between 5 and 10 pounds. So it's a gradual process. It's not going to be like the first thing. Like you're going to have to, and that's without any other lifestyle changes. So if you're looking to lose weight quickly, then this is not like the cure-all for that. Like you're gonna have to really, you know, change your diet, start exercising, and take apple cider vinegar as a supplement, because all it can do is it can help you with whatever your physical ailments are. It helps with joint pain, like people who suffer from arthritis. I find, I mean, this could be totally in my head, I'm not exactly sure, but I know that there are studies that say that it helps with joint pain. So I actually give this to my dog a little bit, because he suffers from a luxating patella. So I do put a little bit of organic apple cider vinegar in his food from time to time, just to relieve some of his you know, joint issues should he be in pain. He seems like he's fine, but you know, just to prevent any arthritis or loss of cartilage in the future. Okay, so those are the health benefits. Again, that's not comprehensive. There are a ton of like things that organic apple cider vinegar can help you with. I suggest just looking it up. There's some medical research on it. There's some things published in medical journals, and there's also some like blogs and people who have just had their own experiences. If you hear that panting, that is my dog. He's panting over there because he's playing with a toy. So yeah, side note, I digress. What was I saying? Oh yes, so just look it up and you can see if there's any health benefits that you can benefit from by starting an organic apple cider vinegar regimen. Okay, now since this is a beauty channel after all, there are a ton of beauty benefits as well. And the first thing is toner. Now you may have seen my DIY toner, and I actually use apple cider vinegar in my toner. Some people, if you have acne or if you have really oily skin, like you can actually just take apple cider vinegar straight up and apply it to your skin. Of course, it does have an apple cider vinegar smell. It's gonna smell apple cider vinegary, and your face will smell apple cider vinegary. So if you want to do it at night, you know, before bed or something like that, that may be the best bet. And if you're gonna start using it as a toner, then I do suggest sort of diluting it with water for at least the first little bit, like for the first week or so, just to see how your skin reacts to it, because it is, again, it is acidic. So you want to be very careful about what you're putting on your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin, because sometimes it can irritate it. So I would suggest doing like sort of a half and half mixture at first, and then just adjusting it accordingly to what your body needs, like, or what your face needs. Sometimes you're gonna have to add a little bit more apple cider vinegar, a little bit less. I know, once again, my cousin who has completely oily skin uses it as a toner, and it's a beauty staple for her in her bathroom. Why is this blurry? I feel like my camera keeps getting blurry. Maybe it's when I go like this. Is it getting blurry? I'm not sure. Hold on. Okay, another way that people have used apple cider vinegar is for their hair. Like they have mixed apple cider vinegar with a little bit of baking soda and use that as a shampoo, or they can shampoo normally and then condition normally, and then just take half apple cider vinegar and like 1 part apple cider vinegar to 1 part water, and they pour it over their hair as like an after rinse, and it balances out the pH. It actually clarifies your scalp to help your hair, you know, sort of grow fast. It doesn't help your hair grow faster. What it does is it clears up the hair follicle. So if there's any dirt or any clogged up sort of hair follicles, it's going to help remove all those so your hair is free to grow. I should say that. It doesn't make your hair grow faster, but it creates an environment where your hair can grow faster because there's no clogged hair follicles. Oh, Ziggy! My dog just like knocked over my camera. Okay, it actually helps with sunburn, and I know it sounds really like it's gonna be painful if you actually put it on sunburn, but if you put it on sunburn with like a little cotton pad, or even if you just mix it with a little water, it actually helps the sunburn to heal faster, and it also soothes your skin so it's not like giving that burning sensation. It helps with sunspots. You can use it on your face, or sometimes people get sunspots like on the back of their hand, and they can use it to fade some of those out because it has fading properties. So if you have dark spots or sunspots, then this can help you. If you have an issue with like swelling, like a lot, I know, like I read a lot of pregnant women use apple cider vinegar for their hands and for their feet when they're pregnant because their hands swell. And so what they do is they just mix it again, either with half water, half apple cider vinegar, or some people I know take like little droplets of apple cider vinegar and put it in their lotion and then like actually massage it into their hands and into their feet because it helps reduce the swelling. I guess it sort of helps like with the blood flow. And also, it actually has like antifungal properties. So if you have like, this is gonna sound really gross, but if you have like nail fungus or toenail fungus, then you can soak those fungus-filled nails in some apple cider vinegar, and it helps to clear that up right away. Apple cider vinegar can also help to reduce the free radicals, so that's why it's really good to ingest it as well as to put it on topically, because those free radicals cause us to age a lot faster than we need to. So we want to neutralize those free radicals as much as possible. So organic apple cider vinegar can definitely help you with that. And okay, so let's talk about the taste, because I know that some people hate the taste of vinegar. I actually am a person who likes vinegar, so when I take it, I actually take it just straight up. I take 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar every single morning before I eat anything, just to it settles my stomach. And it prepares my stomach for food so that, you know, it can break down any fat that I'm eating or any like complex. I don't eat like high carbohydrate food, but especially in the morning. But if I did, it would help to neutralize my blood sugar so my blood sugar doesn't spike. So that's something to consider. Some people, if they don't like the taste of apple cider vinegar, then what they will do is they will put it just in some water. Like, they'll just take like a regular bottle of water and then they will put 2 tablespoons in this entire bottle and then they'll sip on it throughout the day. I actually heard that may be better. Like, it's meant to sort of sip on throughout the day. I just, I don't know, I'm fine with just taking shots of it. Sometimes if I want to take more than just those 2 tablespoons during the day, then I will put it in a bottle of water and sip on it through the day. But I find that taking it in the morning works just fine for me. What I normally do is I drink some water, so I probably drink like a 1/4 cup of water, then I take the 2 shots of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and then I drink some more water, so it all just sort of gets mixed in my stomach anyway. But you can add it to tea, you can add it to juice, you can add it to your smoothie, you can add it to whatever you want. I wouldn't add it to like milk though, because that creates like buttermilk and that would probably taste weird. But I mean, it's edible, so if you really like the taste of buttermilk, then by all means. I also heard of some people adding honey to it, and I've actually done this before, is I've added a little bit of honey to apple cider vinegar, especially when I'm going through or suffering from acid refluxes. I would put a little honey in it just because it would sort of soothe the reflux that was happening like in my esophagus. And I keep saying I hear. When I say I hear, what I really mean is I read that there's vitamin B in the honey, so it actually helps sort of make the good properties of the organic apple cider vinegar more potent. So adding a little bit of vitamin B, so the little bit of vitamin B that is in the honey actually helps with the apple cider vinegar. So that is another way to take it. I mean, I know that there are pills out there. I don't think that the pills are as good as just taking the straight up apple cider vinegar, but if that's all you can do because you really hate the taste of vinegar and you don't want the vinegar in anything that you're drinking, then I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, it's available, so you might as well try it. But it really isn't that bad. Like, after you've done it for a while, like, it's not bad at all, especially like in water. Like, when you put it in water, it sort of just tastes like, you know how like when you squeeze lemon in water, it sort of has like that little sour, like lemony taste? Well, that's sort of the way that it tastes with vinegar, except for it's more of like a vinegar taste. It tastes different than white vinegar, like the normal white vinegar that most people use, but it definitely has that sour, a little bit bitter sort of taste to it. But again, I like vinegar. I put apple cider vinegar on raw cucumbers and eat it. I like apple cider vinegar just on like salad. So I'm a person who loves vinegary things. If you are not a person who loves vinegary things, then you may have to get a little bit creative. But again, I feel like the possibilities are endless. You can certainly mask the taste if you put it in like a smoothie or something, or like a fruit juice. Like, I'm sure that you can mask the taste of the vinegar. But it really is beneficial, and so if you suffer from anything, whether it is a beauty ailment like acne or nail fungus or chronic sunburn or sunspots, or if it's a health issue like again, diabetes or high cholesterol or anything like that, then I would definitely suggest just looking into it. Of course, like I keep saying, I am not a doctor. I cannot tell you what is best for your body. But once again, I do think that there are things in nature that we can use to just boost sort of like the bodies that God has already given us. And if you suffer from something where you have to take medication, you may be surprised that you may not have to take those medications anymore, because that happened to me. And that's why I can say that, is because I used to have to take acid reflux medication every single day before I ate dinner. And now I no longer have to, because of the apple cider vinegar. So now I can once again eat dairy and once again eat spicy food and chocolate and all those things, and not worry that I'm gonna lay down and not be able to breathe because the acid reflux is really kicking in. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I did want to say, I want to tell you like how much these cost. So this I got from Vitacost. So this is the Vitacost brand, and I will link my referral code down below. So if you sign up and you put your email in, then they will send you like pretty immediately, like after like 5 minutes, they will send you in your email a $10 coupon code where you can order this organic apple cider vinegar. I feel like it's like $4 on the website. So you can order it for free. If you have $10, you can order apple cider vinegar and, you know, some organic honey, so that way you can have those two things for the $10 that you're getting for free, and they will ship it to your house if you use the coupon code. So I think that that's great. If you have a Whole Foods near you, then you can of course go get the Whole Foods brand. I have it, hold on. This is the Whole Foods brand. It's the 365 organic, unfiltered, unpasteurized. That mother that I was talking about, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it, but the light may be like hindering you from seeing like the little mother particles that are in there because it looks cloudy on the camera. But anyway, there's like little mother particles. You just shake it up. And this is a same thing, $4 at Whole Foods. But if you order it from Vitacost, then obviously you don't have to go anywhere, and it just gets shipped to your house, and then you're good. If you go to Whole Foods, then you have to actually drive there. They also have Bragg's apple cider vinegar, which is a little bit more expensive. I feel like it's like $5 or something like that. But I find that any brand, as long as it is unfiltered, organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, I find that works just as great. I find that that works just fine. So yeah, so I would look into apple cider vinegar and including it in your health and or beauty regimen. And if you guys have any questions about it, leave a comment down below. If not, then I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.